touch, the aroma, effervescence, and what have you of Abidjan, just one of the centers that brought us Ivory Coast 2023. What a tournament that was. Some are calling it one of the best for obvious reasons. Host and win is always very special. The Ivorians will be hoping that in Morocco they can defend their title. Not just them, the Black Star of Ghana would hope that after years, decades of droughts, they would also be able to recapture the glory days that made them, the glittering stars of Africa. Then there's a team called Angola. The Black Antelopes, Palancas Negras, they also have ambitions. After they went pretty close in Abidjan or in Ivory Coast, they did their best, and they reckon the team is on the ascendancy, and even the Black Star should not be able to stand in their way. This time around, they're on a vengeance. Remember, the last encounter ended goalless in Luanda. Prior to that, it was a 1-0 victory thanks to Antoine Semenyo in Kumasi. Let's just have this little recap just to tell us exactly why all these countries are battling to qualify for the Afcon.
Baba Yayana, you see the likes of Aprigu Chakapama, who the likes of Joseph Langabelma, who say atmosphere, it will be buzzing. I mean, as they always do it, they come in their numbers, they support the Black Stars, and today they will be here. And I'm missing me by the 2 training sessions that I have witnessed. I've seen great things, and Papayaba, Samaba, Papa, we do a Chandy Banchaya, and now the Mamicasona Nekonesona, Wabe, Onion Onko.
It doesn't get any better. On Max TV, your special guest, international drama of the national teams, formerly based in Amsterdam, Holland. Over 25 years of traveling and supporting the national team. A national entertainer, so a celebrity drama.
Thank you.
Or a painter by profession. Our guest and the first on the show is Joseph Langabel. Good morning. Welcome to Max TV, Langabel.
Thank you, Nadakwa. I thank God that I see you today.
Why?
Because the reason why I thank God that I see you today, Nana, the day us and Art of Lion.
Yeah, the Democracy Cup game.
We have 2 disasters in Accra Sports Stadium.
The first one was terrible.
The first one was dead.
Okay, and the second one was who?
You. Where by the grace of God, you are alive. Because I saw you, they carry you to the nearest stadium clinic. Whereby you can't talk. My stomach is paining me. I say, what? My man, Nana Adakwa, the king of the Jews. Everywhere you go, MTN, Nana Adakwa. When this man will leave me, I'll die. No, I pray before the guy is passing away. I ask if I say, you are okay. No, when I go to bed, I kneel down. I say, God, I thank you. You are the one who brought it, and you are the one who take it. But Nana Adakwa will never take it. Because when you take Nana Adakwa, you are low down popcorn in this country. Nana Adakwa, thank you for the words so sweet. But, and I see you again. May God bless you.
Present this question. Yeah. Okay, 2010.
Yeah.
Mino Angola.
Yeah. Where
now China. SMBC.
Yes.
That's how many years ago? 14 years ago.
2010 and 2014, which is 14 years ago.
Then they see Angola and Brazil catch Ghana for time African Cup 14 years ago.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, Nana Adakwa is a fantastic journalist. He's a correct journalist. He doesn't take that kind of anki-paki what some of the journalists are doing. This man, there's a meeting between the coach, which is me, and the placement. And Nana Adakwa came to the program. But later on, he leaves something at top. Well, immediately you want to rush to go and take the thing. Nana Dagwa see the how do you call it, the lift. That there's a grass there.
Mirror.
Nana Dagwa see the lift. He thought the lift is going. Then he ran before he realized grass there. Banyan. When Nana Dagwa had the grass, he thought it's a lift, but not knowing it's an anti-parking lift. Pass it by. Well, Nana Dagwa, he made a history in Ghana football. God bless this guy.
Also, but there's a big game today, Ghana versus Angola.
Yeah.
Yesterday, your good friend, Kwesi Appiah, in the same group with Ghana, have beaten Niger 1-0. Yeah. What are you expecting from this game here in Kumasi?
Let me greet all the listeners in this country and everybody watching me and me, Nadakwa, and my co-man, Mutala, the star of Ghana Blaster. He's the Kudus Must TV.
Mutala is the Kudus of
Must TV.
Mutala is
Kudus of Must TV.
Wow.
Serious, because Mutala is not joke with the work.
He's a very good guy.
I'm telling you. And anybody, if you jealous him, you go quench.
He's a Kudus of Must TV.
I'm telling you, that's a star boy.
Star boy.
I'm grateful.
God bless you.
No. About the game.
The game where we are going to play, I want to tell the whole Ghana that they shouldn't take this game as a cheap game. Angolans are the team where they how do you call it? When we are going to play with them, we struggle.
Was the pride of African football, the Afcon itself, and this afternoon the journey begins. Actually, the journey has already begun in Ghana's group. If you want to pay close attention, obviously Sudan got to a winning start at home in Juba. They beat Niger by 1-0, so they lead the group. Even if it's temporarily, they've got 3 points, 1 goal, none against, and they'll be waiting. They'll be watching us here to see what happens this afternoon at the Baba Yara Sports Stadium. There's been a lot up to the build-up, and we've been bringing you all the very latest with the arrival of the two teams, as well as the build-up to this afternoon's game. And we'll certainly continue with that as the game gets closer to kickoff time. Our team are there, they're ready. Nana Dakwa, Mutalaya Kubu, and Josiah Okokwe, and the rest of the team, Nana Edu, and the production crew. So that's the group. Do you want to look at it again, just to give you an insight as to what it looks like now? As I said, there you go. It's just one game played. So Niger at the bottom -1. They host the Black Stars in that next game next week, and Angola take on Sudan. In all, just 2 matches, we'll already see a bit of a shape for October, where the second round of the matches will be played, and then it will wrap up in November. I've got special guests joining me later, us in the studio, but there's a lot, as I said, to talk through before kickoff, and we'll be picking up the latest from our guys in Kumasi as well. So do stay with us, and hopefully at the end there'll be victory, and the phone lines will be activated for you to have your say. Hopefully, I'm not saying that it's going to be easy, but the Black Stars are poised per what we've been hearing and seeing. Okay, let me bring Francis Agboyeboy in Blackgate. He joins me here, the Men in Black, and he's one of them. He's here in the studio. A few days to kick off the Ghana Premier League, but this is the main McCoy as far as African football is concerned, the real McCoy, the Afcon, and a lot has been said, and I'm sure you've been also monitoring. What is the vibe like, Francis?
Well, if you look at the vibe around the city or on social media, people are quite excited that the Ghana Premier League will resume come weekend, Saturday, and then on Sunday across the various centres. But at the same time, the sentiment that people have out there is the fact that for the first time in about 4 years now, or 5 years, the Ghana Premier League will not be on TV at premium range for them to watch live matches away from their homes. So that is what people are fuming about. But I know the FA, with time, definitely I know the league will not be played over the entire season without a broadcast sponsor. I know Star Times are still bidding, and we hope to get the rights back, because this is what we've done for the past 3-4 seasons, and we want to continue. Yes, there are criticisms out there. When there are no criticism, you can get better as a production house. So we are ready to serve Ghanaians, and we are ready to take the Ghana Premier League to the next level. So it's only a matter of time that we look up to the FA to come out clearly and award the right to whoever is supposed to. But I wish and pray that it will come back to us as Star Times and Max TV, so that we can continue serving our cherished viewers and clients out there across the country and the world at large. But this afternoon is back to main business in Kumasi, where the Black Stars will be pitched against one of their normal usual customers in Angola. You know, Angola, we've played them 8 times in terms of our overall permutations. We've beaten them 4 times. We've drawn on 3 occasions, and then they've beaten us 1 as far as back in 1997. That was in Luanda in the Afcon Qualifiers. In our previous meetings, let's say our recent last 2 meetings, we beat them in Kumasi by 1-0, and the return leg in Luanda ended in a 1-1 stalemate. So if you look at Angola themselves, they've not been bad. We saw them at the Afcon in Cote d'Ivoire, where they basically played to the quarterfinals of the competition, and then they lost in that quarterfinal to our neighbors, Nigeria. But they've given a great account of themselves. And in this afternoon, Pedro Goncalves' boys will be raring to go. The last time they came here, beat them by 1-0, courtesy Antoine Semenyo's winner. It was tough. The Black Stars dug deep to be able to get that winning goal. But I know in Kumasi this afternoon, the fans will turn up. The Black Stars themselves will turn up. And to be a spectacle for us in Kumasi. As far back in 2000, that was the last time we lost a game at Kumasi in the African Cup of Nations to South Africa. Ever since then, that has been a slaughterhouse. It has been a den. It has been a no-go zone area. Every single team that went to Kumasi against the Black Stars basically found a way to get the better out of them. The better result that an away team have chalked since the year of 2000 was a draw. So in Kumasi, Ghanaians have been sport of victory or a defeat for the away team. So if you look at this afternoon, I'm quite optimistic that the Black Stars will step up and deliver for the country yet again.
Yeah, no doubt about that. And the word on the street is no long talk. If you're going to score the goal, no long talk. If you're going to get it done, no long talk. So we're hoping that the Black Stars will not make it anything complicated. No long talk, and they'll sort themselves out and make people. I mean, it's a Thursday, it's a weekday, but that doesn't really factor in when it comes to the venue. You know, Kumasi has a different vibe. The fans who travel from all over Ghana to Baba Yara, they get into that mood, they get into that groove, and everything else becomes secondary. So whether it's a Monday or it's midweek or it's Thursday, they will turn up.
Yeah, they will turn up. You know, yesterday evening, a friend of mine, his name is Issa Lidini, he called me and we were having a discussion. And he was like, Francis, I think the home of the Black Stars should be permanently made Kumasi. Even if we are going to host a major tournament like the Afcon, it shouldn't matter that it is Accra, that is the capital. The Black Stars home Ghana's home matches need to be in Kumasi. I said, why? He said, if you look at the Black Stars, the kind of relationship they have with the Kumasi fans, whenever they play there, it doesn't matter if it is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday. The stadium will be packed to its maximum capacity. And one thing about the Kumasi fans is they have the patience for the team. They have the patience to edge the team on when things are difficult, unlike in Accra, where people always go hard on them. And you know, the Kumasi fans have always been the 12th man since Abedi Pele's time. They've always supported the Black Stars to its maximum core.
No doubt about it. It's all about teamwork. It's very important. And we have the know-how, and we have, of course, the production expertise. We're producing the match from scratch, start to bottom, and online, on radio, on television. You can enjoy the very best. And from Baba Yara to the studios, we make sure we bring you a coverage that would delight you. Let's go for a quick break. We'll be back in just a second.
Baba Yara.
Top. Well, immediately you want to rush to go and take the thing. Nana Rakwa see the how do you call it, the lift. That there's a grass there. Mirror. Nana Rakwa see the lift. He thought the lift is going. Then he ran before he realized grass there. When Nana Rakwa had the grass, he thought it's a lift, but not knowing it's an anti-parking lift. Pass it by. Well, Nana Rakwa, he made a history in Ghana football. God bless this guy.
Also, but it's a big game today. Ghana versus Angola.
Yeah.
Yesterday, your good friend Kwesi Appiah, in the same group with Ghana, have beaten Niger 1-0.
Yeah.
What are you expecting from this game here in Kumasi.
Let me greet all the listeners in this country and everybody watching me and me Nadagwa and my co-man Mutala, the star of Ghana Blaster. He's the Kudus Must TV.
Mutala is the Kudus
of Must TV.
Mutala is
Kudus of Must TV.
Wow.
Serious, because Mutala is not joke with the work.
He's a very good guy.
I'm telling you. And anybody, if you jealous him, you go quench.
He's a Kudus of Must TV.
I'm telling you, that's a star boy.
Star boy.
I'm grateful.
God bless you.
No. About the game.
The game where we are going to play, I want to tell the whole Ghana that they shouldn't take this game as a cheap game. Angolans are the team where they how do you call it? When we are going to play with them, we struggle. It's not me. It's tele. Before we managed to call Angola. And right now, the different dimension, every dimension, different dimension. The coach where they have is different. We too, our coach is different. But when I watch this game, per what we saw in we and Central Republic of Africa here, I'm going to tell the players that I'm begging to them. They should kill themselves. Because if it's not the rain, like we are disaster here, you have to tell the truth. The truth is one. When Langabe speak, they say Langabe is too much. The truth is one. It was the rain who helped Ghana. Where we scored the people 4-3. If it was the more time day for the match inside, they will score us. Because our players, I don't know whether they feel that the Central Republic of Africa, they don't know how to play for football, or they just see them as a underdog. No, right now there's no underdog in this football again. Everybody know how to play football. No, when you meet your meter, try to score him, and when he see you, say, hey, this man's my master.
Are you expecting goals in this match for Ghana?
This match, it was a goal who come inside. But when the goals will come, it depends our strikers and the midfielders. Because when the midfielders hold the ball well, and the strikers are struggle to score the goal, our defenders can be free. But when the midfielders and the strikers are, they cannot do nothing, our defense can suffer. No, me, I don't want how they blame the defenders and the goalkeepers. No, me, I don't like that way. We have some matches when there's it's a fault of the defender, you see it. But you see that this one from the midfield before he come to the defense before the goalkeeper. No, the only thing I want to tell the players, today match is not it's not a small match. It's not about the Metra Makwe.
All right.
It's not Metra Makwe.
Do you believe in the coach?
Otuado is a champion coach. Let me tell you something. First fool is not a fool, but the second fool, a big fool.
Why do you say that?
Yes. Otuado went to Qatar and see how things is going. He himself, myself, I went to Otuado. And I told Otuado that Otuado, your tanker team will join you. If I doing selection where they say, okay, they want you to fail. Because they know that when you put this one, they should question you that out. Coach, I think that this selection, this position, when you put, will get problem. No, take it. But they couldn't because they know that when they start coach, they will take over.
They'll get the job.
And the same thing happened in Qatar. They sacked Otuado. Otuado he leave the club. Who take the work? It's not the tank director, which is called Chris Hughton.
Yes, sir.
And the Chris Hughton is not the Qatar.
Yeah.
It's in the car. It's part of the tanker team. And this one, Didi Draman
and George Boateng.
There are about 5 or 6 coaches among Otuado. And you leave this. The second match with South Korea.
Yeah, South Korea.
We and Portugal. You know that Portugal scores, then we equalize, which is 1-1. Before come out the day and Kudus inside. Am I lying?
Yeah.
When the rush, the ghost is flowing in our midst. This shows that the assistant coaches where they don't have.
All right, we're live, and Babayara is poised. They cannot wait for kickoff in a couple of hours, less than a couple of hours. Ghana versus Angola, Black Star versus Palancas Negras. We'll do a little bit of predictions here and there. I know all of you guys are eager to, predict, and overwhelmingly, I think 99.9% of Ghanaians believe it's a done deal, but they still have the work to do. So you can predict the first player and team to score in the 2025 Afcon qualifier between Ghana and Angola. Between Ghana and Angola, and of course, you tell us what's on your mind and you know, who's going to score. I don't know if that's a clue, but there are two there on that flyer, but we'll see what happens in due course. And as I said, we'll be keeping tabs with Mutala Yakubu and the rest of the crew on the ground in Kumasi. In the meantime, in the studio, I'm here with Francis Agboego, aka Blackgate. There's a lot to talk about. Matador says he's watching. I don't know where you're watching from, but it looks like a lot of people are watching from all over Ghana and beyond as well. And of course, this call-up is something that was discussed, but perhaps not as much as previous times. There's not been too much, you know. Francis, I'll bring you in here. Currently, Lawrence Atizigi, he's been holding the post since the World Cup. Many would say, yep, room for improvement, but so far, he's done his best.
Yeah, he has been pretty decent whenever we call on him to mount the goalpost for the Black Stars. At the World Cup, when the usual suspects got injured about 2 weeks to the tournament, we were all raising eyebrows, but he went to the World Cup, proved to us that he's a great goalkeeper, and he made some magnificent saves as the World Cup. Typical example against Korea and against Portugal. In those two games, he gave a decent account of himself. And now, I think he should be the one to continue in goalpost. You look here, we have Ali Duseidu, Tariq Lamptey, Jonas Ajete, Abdul Mumin, Mohamed Salisu, Jerome Opoku, Ebenezer Annan, Kingsley Schindler. If you look at this, you can tell that Ali Duseidu, in terms of defensive-wise, at the right wing back, he will be a better of a defensive player than Tariq Lamptey. What Tariq Lamptey brings to board, he's an explosive player on the wings. His pinpoint accuracy crosses into the box is much better than Ali Duseidu. So it depends on what Otuado wants to deploy and the tactical dispensation that he wants to attack to this game. But in my eyes, if I can see Ali Duseidu starting ahead of Tariq Lamptey, because in terms of Tariq Lamptey, he's suited to the European kind of game better than the African kind of game, because in terms of him moving, surging up front, he's explosive and he can get you those kind of crisp crossing, pinpoint accuracy cross. But when he's reverting back to defend, that is where he's been caught out sometimes in the permutations. Yeah,
it's interesting when I hear that, because all the players, I mean, with the exception of perhaps the goalkeeper, play European football. And Angola, you look at them, you know, playing Portugal, Spain, France, all over the world. So the European game is very much a part of them. And their coaches also have European influence. Even Otuado, who's, of course, a Ghanaian, groomed and trained European tactics and style. So you would say that the African game is kind of metamorphosed into European football. Maybe not in their personnel, maybe at the tournament level, yes, it goes back to, but in these matches where you've got to be tactical, you've got to be careful, you know, just to get your 3 points. I would say most of these players have been playing European football and they bring it back when they return home.
Yeah, definitely. You look at the approach of the Black Stars. They've always loved to play on the front foot. They are not a team that likes to sit deep. Under Chris Hughton, they try to do that, and it backfire in the Afcon tournament. You look at the strength of this team. Basically, is on the wings and then in central midfield. Mohamed Kudus, Abu Francis, Thomas Partey, Elisha Owusu, Majid Ashimeru, Forsen Amankwa. Here you look at Mohamed Kudus, Thomas Partey, and Majid Ashimeru. This trio of midfielders should be able to play in any starting 11 in the African terrain, and they should be able to get you decent performances on any given day. Thomas Partey is the heartbeat of the Arsenal midfield. Ever since he came back from injury last season till now, all the matches that he has started for Arsenal are yet to taste defeat in the English Premier League. That tells you the caliber of player that they have on their hands. And in terms of what he brings to the Black Stars, he brings you maturity, he brings you stability, he brings you experience. And he's a player that strikes fear into the opponent. And with Thomas Partey out there on the pitch, definitely the team will be built around him. And in Mohamed Kudus, you have a player that can give you attacking options. He can play behind the main striker, he can play as the main striker, he can play on both flanks, on the right wing or on the left wing. So
so the arrival, this was rather going, so we're looking at the departure and arrival, following them through that process. You can call it the Black Stars diary to the Afcon 2025 qualifier. And yeah, some of the players, yes, the other time, Anedu was here mentioning them off the roller. Maybe Francis Agboibo can help me out with some of the new players in the squad. Not like previously. I saw Thomas Asante over there. He's a new boy, but he made his debut in the last game against Central African Republic. And there'll be a lot of in it. The British contingent, the English contingent, Semenyo and Tariq Lamptey are not alone now. They've got a lot of company joining them. And of course, they arrived, still taken off before they eventually got to Kumasi. Very short flight.
Yeah, definitely very short flight. But if you look at this team, one thing that you can tell from afar out is the fact that you can tell that there's some team unity and chemistry among the players, unlike in the past where they used to be all by themselves. This time around, if you go around the team, you see they having jokes with each other, pep talking each other, and you can tell that the team chemistry is gradually there. Mohamed Kudu said what he wants the Black Stars to have now is to be they should have that team chemistry and be friendly, have that kind of friendly environment where everybody can be able to talk to somebody and crack jokes with the person. And with that, you can tell that they will take the game to the next level for the country. When we used to have Stephen Appiah as the captain, basically he, Michael Essien, Stephen Sule Ali Muntari, John Mensah, Isaac Vossa, Richard Olelekins, and Samoa John, they've always put their hands around each other when things are going tough. On some occasions that some of their colleagues want to be kicked out of the Black Stars camp, you've been around the team. They've teamed up together, go to the management, speak to them, tell them, hey, we are together. Yes, we know that no human is perfect. He has fault, like he's at fault. So what do? We need to be able to talk to him out of the, rather than sending the person out of the camp, and it will lead to a whole lot of chaotic scene around the camp. And now, if you look at this team, you can tell that Otuado is trying to build something that will last forever in terms of team unity, in terms of what they bring on board. You can tell players like Thomas Partey. I saw an interview with a sister company where he said he is here for everybody. Anyone that wants his advice or wants his opinion on issues, he's here to guide them through. Yeah. You can tell this is the arrival at Kumasi. And if you look at them, they are very calm. And when players are calm and focused, they can only give you one thing. That is good results.
You have no choice but to be calm when you're arriving. I mean, for me, the likes of Brandon, Thomas Asante, Ebenezer, Anan, Jonas, Ajeti and Ibrahim Osman, they're the ones who now have to fit into the Black Star squad as newbies. But as we've seen, players who were once upon a time, just a few matches ago, new boys, have settled in. Yeah, they've settled in. You look at somebody like Brandon Thomas Asante. You look at him at his club side, he has been very explosive. He pops up with goals. He's an exciting player. And in training, if you look at the clips from the training pitch, you can tell that he's an exciting player. He takes people on, drags people out of position. And in terms of finishing, he's a very clinical finisher. It's only a matter of time. He needs... We'll get time to talk about the expanded and repackaged, I like to use the word, Kumasi Airport, looking very splendid.
That's Mohamed Salisu in the shot there. You can tell how one of the experienced guys now, he plays for FC Monaco, transferred for Southampton. And if you look at what these guys are bringing on board, you can tell that that's Abdul Mumin, who plays for Rayo Vallecano. He has been brilliant for them in the matches he has played so far this season. And today I expect him to start together with Mohamed Salisu. I'll be shocked if he doesn't start this game. Look at
Ebenezer Anan, Jonas Ajete, the two players that a lot of people are asking about. Obviously they're new, but we've seen with Otto Addo, he's not going to waste time. They all know Kudus, but these are boys who hopefully in due course would also be on the lips of Ghanaian fans. Yeah, definitely. You just need the opportunity. And when you get the opportunity, you need to take it by the scruff of the neck. Mind you, in the past, we saw a certain Kojo Asamoah in that match against Mali in Bamako. They gave him only 10 minutes. He showed that what he can do against a country like Lesotho. In recent memory, may his soul rest in peace. When Coach Kwesi Appiah gave Christian Achu a cameo appearance in that 8 minutes, he showed us what he can do in Kumasi. So it's all about you taking the opportunity by the scruff of the neck and showing everyone what you can do to be able to stake a claim for a starting bet. Otto Addo has done well with getting, a mix. Jerome Opoku, gives reasons why he brought him in. Brilliant player who plays for Istanbul Besiktas in the Turkish Super League. Kingsley Schindler as well. Abu Francis, Forson Amankwa. We're looking forward to these very young and exciting players. Experience would come Thomas Partey, the older generation of experience on the left. Kudus Mohammed, also the younger generation of experience. And behind him, of course, that's Brandon.
Thomas
Asante, the English-based boys. Crawley, man, the goalkeeper now he plays for.
Jojo Walcott.
Yeah.
You can tell, you know, the blend is there. You know, continuity is key. And you have to have a good succession plan. And that is what the man is. That's Mohamed Kudus, the star boy. This generation, the team, basically, he's the anchor. And that's Abdul Fattah Isahaku, who himself has improved his game in the last 1 year.
The English
moving
contingent,
from, yes, Antoine Semenyo. 3 goals this season for AFC Bournemouth, popped up with assist. And that's Jerome Opoku, who plays for Istanbul Besiktas.
Yeah, really
defender.
got a fantastic height on him.
Brilliant. And that's Abdul Mumin, who plays for Rayo Vallecano in the shot there. So if you look at this team, quite young, exciting players, and he's trying to fuse them in. You look at Jordan Ayew, you look at Thomas Partey. These are players that gradually, and you look at that, even this was
training.
Look at the Kumasi fans, always excited to see the Black Stars play. And one thing that I've admired, that's Tariq Lamptey, and that's Inaki Williams there, who a lot of people look up to pop up with goals for you. So if you look at the Kumasi fans, one thing I love about the handlers of the Black Stars and the Kumasi faithful is now they have softened their stance in terms of the way they allow people to get closer to the players. And that's Frederick Asante, who plays for Kumasi Asante.
Asari, yeah.
That's you look at Alidu Seidu there in your picture, and that's Randy Abe there. You know, the players now, they have that freedom, and they cannot mingle. You can tell the telepathy or the kind of relationship between the players and the
sending
supporters.
their last messages before training starts. Very, very relaxed indeed. And the question will always be, how will the Black Stars line up? How will the Black Stars set up against Angola? We'll know that in the next hour, just over an hour. And the pitch, thankfully, is better than it was a couple of weeks ago. In fact, they've done a bit of a miracle, but it's still not. I'm not a professional footballer, but I would imagine the professional footballers always want the grass to be as, you know, if the word supple is correct, but just as smooth as possible so they can slide and pass the ball with the accuracy and the energy that it demands.
Well, yeah, this is what we have. You know, CAF itself have given us some recommendations that they will permit us to play this game. But our next home game, and when we don't satisfy those recommendations, Ghana will not be permitted to play those matches there. And if you look at the list that they've given us, it's a tall list. And I think we should stop playing with fire now. If really we want to play our home matches, our next home matches at the Baba Yara Sports Stadium, then we need to put our house in order and get things done. Because CAF will not be soft on us the next time they come here to allow us to play on this pitch. Because they said the floodlight, they tax us with the dressing room, they tax us with the playing surface, they tax us with the reserve bench. All these things, they need an upgrade on it.
Washrooms.
The washrooms as well. So if you look at holistically, CAF is trying to, they'll warn you, and then they'll go tough on you.
Well,
it will be quite embarrassing for a country like Ghana that will be asked to play a World Cup qualifier at this particular point outside the shores of the country.
The thing is, whether or not it's a warning, the bottom line is that it's been approved. I mean, we all know we can actually give, what's the word to use, thumbs up or not to the NSA, you know, for waiting for so long. But today we'll see how the pitch holds and whether or not that job or that work has been done, and it will actually hold for 90 minutes. But the most important thing, Kumasi is buzzing and the fans have also been talking. We'll also activate the phone line so that you guys can predict before we're joined by our international guest. The floodlights back on. And, you know, Baba Yara has been absent with this for a while, but it's been fixed. So it's going to be sorted very, very soon. Okay, so we'll activate the phone lines later on. But let's find out what these fans in Kumasi have been saying.
I think say Nyankopon ya adoma ya wada de wo hwe infori wo hwe de CDC nimpa no aye ready na Nyankopon ya adoma Black Stars wan hwe be ku Angola me ya je pa Nyankopon ya adoma ye nyina ye ba Kumasi ma nyina ye ba aba be support Andre Ayew na ni team ni nyina Ghana ye be Angola omu ni cry mo ma ye be ku mo
Ghana me hu say ye betimi a share because what the successful friendly matches I born qualifiers I boy and I coach and so maintain team no nti me hu say bibia be kama. So as time goes on, your participation no ebe boama bibia be kama wo Ghana match any Angola boy. Angola a very difficult side. You show more Afcon no, but as we know, Ghana and Kumasi Sports Stadium, the Baba Yara for Ghana Blasters, we will qualify and we will beat them.
Ghana ye born na ye bono. Team no ye wo, but exact people are also omodi omubono. Enyo omo no omodi omubo. Menim say omo ye discrimination o say den you. Ye nkrofo bo omo gya agopramano so team say ah nipa smesi kura de ya tete dem kura beti ma bo achen wo. Nye do ma betena so. Menim ne ye ntia. Se wo ntia ye sere wo mo. Se nyame adoma game na edi anim no match no. Omo hwe beti ma bo no omo form nya de emra me bo match no ma no mutimi score na ye nuano mo atwa bet no omo ntimi ni
abi Angola de dem be kiddies Kudus alone go fit handle the whole team, so make them talanku kura, we go show them something for it. If you Kumasi then they come abi Kumasi there, you know, full support. Black Stars, no, I'm relaxing, I'm relaxing my game. No, wait for the Angola there. We go show them something. We go show them Pepe. Black Stars all the way.
Ghana be 2-0. Yeah. Oh yeah. They said the last 2 matches, no, there was more improvement in team. If you say we, you know, yeah, you be share I could share Niger for. Na ni mi na. We 2-0. We 2-0. Be say I could share 2-0. Why?
Yeah,
okay, thank
some
you.
are even looking ahead to Niger. I don't think we should take Angola lightly, or I don't think it's disrespect. It's normal. Fans have this confidence about them, especially when it's Baba Yara and when it's the Black Stars. They just feel and I think it's a positive mindset for the players also to tap into. We're invincible, but it shouldn't get to complacency. You shouldn't get carried away. Hopefully that will not get onto into the players' heads. They would work hard, fight to get a win.
Yeah. Complacency is, when you speak about complacency, is one thing. You know, when we were at Pullman in Côte d'Ivoire, prior to our first game against Cape Verde at Afcon, we were having an interview on the lobby, and I was speaking with so much aggression and conviction. And you told me, Francis, we've got to be cautious. Yes, we are favorites, but we can get rattled. And we went into that game in Abidjan, and we got rattled by the Cape Verdeans.
055-846-2088. You can call us and tell us what's on your mind and your predictions. And keep it snappy, right? Keep it very snappy and speak up, and make sure you turn off the volume of your television set. So do call us and tell us what's on your mind. And you can also predict who's going to score first, which team. Let us know. And we're here to receive you. Yeah, you were talking about.
So in terms of being complacent, I don't think the players themselves will be complacent, because they've played against this Angolan team and they've caused us problems. You know, Freddie Kulembe, their central midfielder, basically caused us problems the last time they played at the Kumasi Sports Stadium. And we all felt the pressure. We felt the heat. We dug deep to be able to win the game. But the problem here is the Black Stars themselves knows that this is not a team that they should be taken for granted.
All right, we've got our first caller on the line. Hi, Richard. Can you hear me?
Yeah, boss.
Okay, yeah, let's listen to you. What's up?
Sir, yeah. Good afternoon.
Hi, good afternoon.
Cool. Your end.
Richard, do me a favor. Turn down the volume of the TV set completely. Turn it off. Otherwise, you get a delay, okay? All right, what's on your mind? Hello, are you there? What's on your mind?
Score first, and Kudus will score first.
All right, thank you very much, Richard. Kudus will score first. He was on the line for some time, but I think he was listening to himself. So please, when you call, just switch off or turn down the volume of your TV set, and then you can hear yourself in real time. So tell us what you think. We'll be switching back and forth to give you a bit of the atmosphere at the Baba Yara. The fans have already started trooping in, and it's beginning to build into what we normally call a crescendo. And I'm sure by kickoff, that's exactly what we would have. Kumasi has never disappointed, and apparently the Black Stars have never lost a match played on Thursday since 1961. The boy commentator was telling me that since 1961, that's a long time.
That's a long time, and since 2000 to 2004, the Black Stars are yet to lose a game at the Kumasi Sports Stadium. So basically, that tells you that it's a den, it's a slaughter, it's a no-go zone area. Yes, we have the bars. We have
20 years.
We have that kind of aura or euphoria around the club. as around the club, around the Black Stars, they will feel like they can cause problems to any team that they play there. We've seen them beat Egypt handsomely at that venue. We've seen them beat some household names in African football. They've beaten Cote d'Ivoire in the 2008 third place game. And if you look at the vibe, it's the 12th man that is the magic for the Black Stars. They make it a hostile atmosphere, a positive hostile, not that they'll intimidate you, but the way they'll shout at you, the way they'll lift up their game. Nigeria, when they're in the double-legged playoff en route to the Qatar World Cup, they thought they were coming to beat us in Ghana. But when they came, they found it extremely difficult to play in such an environment. And when the Kumasi fans turn out in their numbers and decide to support properly, it's extremely difficult for our away team to be able to wrap their heads around the kind of euphoria they found themselves in.
All right. Okay, Teshi, I believe. We go to Teshi. Hi, Anas. How are you? Hello, Anas, can you hear me? Okay. All right. Well, Anas can't hear me for now. Let's go back to what you're saying. The players know what they have to do. They'll focus purely on the game itself, but they take that energy from the fans. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah, definitely, because you know the Kumasi fans, the way they play, the way they support the team, the goals basically livens them and brings out the best in them. You look at the attack. For the first time, I'm beginning to believe in the attacking players we have. When Asamoah Gyan's generation fizzled out, when we are playing, we've got to depend on Andre Ayew to pop up with the goals. And when Andre wasn't having the best of form, we were struggling for goals. But now, you look at Inaki Williams, Antoine Semenyo, Abdul Fattah Isahaku, Joseph Pencil, Ibrahim Usman, Jordan Ayew, Thomas Brandon Asante. It is Ibrahim Usman that is one of the chap that we look out for. You know, he's a Brighton player on loan at Feyenoord. Explosive from North Jylland. This guy is one for the future.
Right to Dream product.
Right to Dream product. You look at Abdul Fattah Isahaku, who had a stint with Right to Dream before he went to Steadfast, then back to Dreams FC, went to Sporting Lisbon, then to Leeds United, where he has basically redefined his footballing career. Leicester City, sorry. Where he has redefined his footballing career in the English Championship last season. And this season, he has played in the matches that Leicester City have played in the league. He has been decent in those matches. Jordan Ayew, I can't remember the last time we've had a Black Stars striker who has scored a hat-trick in any game for the Black Stars. But in the World Cup qualifiers against Central African Republic, Jordan Ayew scored. He has scored 5 goals in his last 3 games for the Black Stars, and that tells you he's on top form for the Black Stars. Is in this game, who have the idea whether Jordan Ayew has finally arrived for the Black Stars? Will he be consistent for the Black Stars? It's something that we will judge him this afternoon. Because in the game against Nigeria, in that friendly game, he scored. In the game against Mali, he stepped up from the bench, he scored. In the game against Central African Republic, he scored a hat-trick. Will he continue? Continuity is key. Consistency is key. And with Jordan Ayew, it is the mood in which he finds himself in and the services. That is what will get him to deliver for the Black Stars. This afternoon, will he go with Jordan Ayew together with Inaki Williams, like a double attack? Or will he play a typical 4-3-3 or a 4-5-1 or a 4-2-3-1 formation? We'll live to see when the team sheet pop up. But with Thomas Partey, you have a creative spark. And in the main man, Mohamed Kudus, you have a player that gives you multiple attacking options. He can play on the left, on the right, through the central, and he can play behind the main striker. So it depends on the permutations that Coach Otto Addo will deploy on this afternoon. And when the Black Stars click into full gear and play without selfishness, play without putting themselves at the back foot, they have the ammunition to cause problems to this Angolan team on any given day.
No doubt about that. Thanks a lot. Yeah, so we'll be catching up and letting you know confirmation of the starting lineup. I keep getting asked why, the lists or the names are released so late. Well, they can, as long as it's within CAF rules and they release it on time. That's not a problem at all. It's just part of the gamemanship. I guess a bit of superstition, a little bit of just keeping you anxious, I guess. But we have to also say a big thanks to all our partners who've made it possible to bring you this live coverage. Remember, this match is being produced entirely by IMAX Media Production. So it is, local production for global consumption, and that's the target. We need to improve every time, and we will keep trying our best to do that with every single game. So big thanks to Time Herbal Industries, Yadamasi Bibre, partners in this live broadcast of the Afcon 2025 qualifiers. Bar Herbal Clinic as well. Big thanks to Bar Herbal Clinic for coming on board. Tabia Company Limited, they're also here with us, and you must know that Tabia don't mess around at all when it comes to traditional medicine, conventional and of course traditional, using technology to bring you the very best in that. Ice Drop Mineral Water, all the samples that you need from the sachet to the bottle to the big ones. They are our partners, Ice Drop Mineral Water. And stay hydrated, of course, with the potassium, the manganese and calcium, all of that, which is very necessary to keep you going throughout the day. Karinsik Company, that's you. Thank you very much for joining us in this coverage of the Afcon 2025 between Ghana and Angola. Karinsik Company also bringing the very best product of the highest quality. What about Endpoint Homeopathic Clinic? They need no introduction, but of course, we can't take them for granted. Endpoint has been bringing you the best quality medical care for years, and they continue to do that. And you can contact them on those numbers. They're various in Tema, in Kumasi, you know, everywhere. I mean, I would say that they're nationwide, so you can get them, including their Hansu opposite Josbro in Techiman, and Takrady as well, and the capital, Spintex Road, Tema. There you go. And the numbers on the screen, so you can get in touch with them as well. Then, last but not least, definitely, it's MaxBuy. MaxBuy will bring you the very latest technological advances as far as appliances, household appliances and electrical gadgets and products are concerned. Your one-stop shop for the very best in those appliances is MaxBuy. Techno, I only use Techno, and I'm sure you know why. Phone that keeps increasing its capacity and building up on its excellent pattern so far. And when you're a little bit, you know, feeling a little bit energized or less energized, JB Fresh, that's what we're going to have during the break. Very, very energetic and very soothing as well for you to drink. Lovely taste, and there's no added sugar. I know those of you watching your health, no preservatives and additives. It's very natural. So JB Fresh is that drink for you. Cinex is in the house. You've heard of Cinex? That's right. The new kids on the block, but not so new, bringing a combination of experience and also quality products. Cinex have joined the party. They're in the house, and you'll be hearing more from Cinex as we go along. They are partners to this broadcast as well. And of course, Media Brain Consults. We say thank you very much for being a part of this live production. All right. So the supporters have been in Kumasi for a while, but there's one particular supporter who says he's bringing Nollywood and beyond. Mutala Yakubu spoke to Ejaku.
Eja yenim se opebo na yete na no aye that's right yes odo ho akodom aye supporters union eja and so about the same and that is odo ho akodom supporters union
we dey say no na kan ye me pebo opebo so dey ezeze ojo ani bo ku bi a ufiri se omo ya de na se omo ho keka no wosora obetimi ni omo nante enu nti na me ankasa me fa afon efrem panyinfo se ebradu ye ni monyama Ghana for de amaye akukuduro ewo ne ho don ye dibe etai ye football na chi ebredu say nkuru atetefo ne gege ye ne yesa ye gege bi yesa mre ko nanima adenti ne yentimi nyi bi eto da matena se ahwe hu say ye supporters no mo no a wo body prayer no so na wo pushi no no otu nani no hu dom no na hu say memen o makoma sabre ekura ye nti ye ma obi akoma ntoni yem no mo matimi aye adwuma nti mre aka die ye ba betai supporters union yato ondin die hard atade ya ho fa ene hyemi me ye so obi ahye bi nti wan hwe a wo adwene be yo but die hard omo na sisi mi wo omuntem
na Black Stars for Abatown Abatown so de eja wo se ubabi ene ye ne Angola coach de ka so mbema yesu mako eja se me na wo ka kire Angola coach
se wo de wa no don nwira ebi nwo na obi kurom abakire nse oba me yesu mako ne ye wo meso ankasa wa ha omo de be ne omo de na ya ye wo meso a ye de kakrafo wani ase a bra wabon se wi ase nye de enti enu bi ne ye apeto agu mrantie ne nanso a ye de ba besa won ye sa wo ye osoro bantu emu odu pa de ya santo amu wisu ye tete de ni bi pa ene ye de twere omuto ye so mo do so me nada.
Finally the fans kuma se for per ball e kina mo beba na obi free fie no wotu esika be hwebo ya na ye na adwum ye na o mo be hye o mo nhye aseme na wo ka kire ye enura e kina fans e beba be piem wa ha
de me ka kire asanteman Ghana man baby biela obi free ba mate se bi free sunyan tachiman blekum wanfie doma enom ne asanteman mu mampon kofi ase wiamo ase aguna bi pua chese nipa banka sankasa sikayi enafom nenso uma no hodo Black Stars ho do ntino kakra bi na mpanimfo gye no bomodin na de fatu botum nebra na giri yese omu ye anim ase won be ma de obi ahwehwe no ode akona dachi bia no waka se wo ba he no wa metu sikan
ija finally me pese won die hard for no e ma Ghana for temone se china ye ba abeku Angola for
die hard power die hard power die hard what you say that's it.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Die Hard, they've been globetrotting, and as we talk about, local production for global consumption, I think that's probably Die Hard and the other supporters, their motto as well. We're under an hour to kick off, and we're waiting for the official lineup. That's what normally happens these days. So let's not get too upset. We're used to it, and surely any moment from now we'll get a confirmation of that. And the Baba Yara Sports Stadium, this was much earlier. It will be filled to rafters, but a good shot there. A stadium that has been there for many a decade, and the arrival of the teams as well captured by our drone shot. It's going to be one of those typical African football days where it's going to be explosive, and who dares obviously would win in the end.
Well, basically, if you look at the shots, you can tell the players are calm, relaxed, disembarking from the Black Stars coach. That's Abdul Fattah Isaku. Jordan, will he be starting today? He only joined the camp yesterday. The arrival, you could tell the euphoria around the stadium. It's a thing of a beauty this earlier in the day. So it's all about they continuing from where they let off against Central African Republic in the last break. It won't be easy. It will be tough for them because Angola comes into this game as a different opponent. And if you look at what they have, Gelson Dala, one of the finest, most explosive players on the African continent, the Awakra winger. You look at Freddie Kulembe, the central midfielder. The last time they played us at the Kumasi Sports Stadium, basically picking passes at premium. On that day, Abdul Salih Samed and co struggled to contain him in central midfield. You look at Yolanda Gaspar, the centre back that plays for US Lecce in the Italian league. He's one of the guys that lights up the Afcon in Cote d'Ivoire. Then you have Christopher Mabululu, the centre forward. Mabululu is an awkward player to deal with.
The name that commentators love to mention.
We saw how he terrorized defenders in the Afcon at the Ivory Coast tournament. And this afternoon, if it will be Abdul Mumin and then Mohamed Salih, so that will be partner at the heart of defense. We are yet to see the official team sheet for the day. They have a tough task to do. And the wing backs. Gelson Dala is a troublesome player. He's an exciting player. He's very explosive. He's quick. He's trickery. With the ball at his feet, he can cause problems to any single wing back on this particular African continent.
Coach Pedro Gonçalves has been very kind with his words when talking about the Black Stars of Ghana. A lot of respect, believes that they're in top form. They're improving. They've got a lot of fantastic players. After saying all the nice things, okay, so those are live shots, by the way, National Supporters Union as well. They've arrived in good stead, in good position, and ready to sing their voices hoarse until 90 minutes plus is over and the victory has been achieved. So, yeah, the coach has been very complimentary of the Black Stars. He says all these nice things and then he wraps it up by saying, but we are also very much improved. So in other words, yes, we know the Black Stars are probably ahead of us in name, pedigree, reputation, they're at home, but we're here to play and here to get something. So that should be caution. We're going to see a lot of colors today, no doubt about it, and a lot of ambience and a lot of vibe. That's the coach of Angola.
Pedro Goncalves.
He's not smiling. You know, Goncalves, he's a very serious person, and he said the last time it was very painful for them to lose at the last, you know, at the death.
It was right at the death with Antoine Semenyo popping up with that winner in Kumasi. They made it a tough day for the Black Stars. It was awkward. We were doing the game, we were thinking, where are we going to get this goal to win this game? But when they lose down their guards, the Black Stars were sharp enough to punish them. And you look at him, yes, I listened to him in the presser, and you can tell that he felt like at this particular point in the Ghana enough experience playing at the Afcon in Cote d'Ivoire. They got beaten by Nigeria, but Nigeria didn't have it easy. They made life difficult for the Nigerians. Against Ghana, in the return leg that we played against them in Luanda, that game ended 1-1 yaw. But if you look at the problems they caused us in that game, especially in the second half, Gelson Dala in particular was the one at the heart of the problems that they caused us. Basically, he gave Daniel Amati a whole lot of problems in that game. But if you look at Freddie Kulembe, I always mention this guy. In the game against us in Kumasi, he basically caused us problem. And if you look at the fans, the way they spread out in the stands, yeah, you could tell that right before kickoff, the stadium will be packed to its maximum capacity. Because the layout will give you an idea of if the supporters will be making their way into the stadium. And with Kumasi, I think this is not the current thing. I think this should be like about 30 minutes ago. If you look at the current pictures, it will be much more better than this. I have no doubt that they will turn up. But in terms of the game on the pitch itself, that is where the Black Stars need to start well. Because they've proven to us in past matches that when the Black Stars start games that they don't start leading the game in the first half, in the second half, it becomes so awkward against them. And it's a problem for them. In terms of the way they go about their things, it's something else. They've got to be proactive in terms of their approach, and they've got to step up their game and then deliver this afternoon for the country.
Yeah, it's picking up, and the fans obviously always make sure they're there to get the prime seats to shout their voices hoarse. Kickoff is in about 45 minutes, and the two teams are going through their final paces. They'll be getting onto the pitch to warm up very, very shortly, and the roar from the crowd will tell you exactly the mood the fans are in for this all-important game. And just to remind you that the Sudanese got off to a good start. 3 points they did in Juba. They got their first 3 points under Kwesi Appiah. Remember, he's also assisted by Coach Ignatius Osei-Fosu. So they've made a good start. 5 games unbeaten, 1 draw, 4 wins. Very impressive in the World Cup as well as the Afcon Qualifiers. So for now, Sudan are top of the group, and whoever wins this game should overtake them. Obviously, it will depend on the goals scored and, of course, less goals conceded. So you're right here on the right place to be, and that is the group. Only a match played in that group. It was yesterday, and Sudan getting the edge over Niger. The Black Stars' next destination is Niger, and Angola take on Sudan. We could have a very interesting group ahead. No team should be taken for granted at all. All right, so let's go back. As our team have been in and around the action, let's get bits and pieces before we go back to Kumasi and hear from the streets there. But Accra, the fans have also been talking.
Ghana ebe win 1-0. Na ushemu a patenso a no captain there. A good part because most of times no say Pate captain Ghana national team na win etimi e by side. Na enenso ye hwe enso no utimi say ayu enim na ne brother no Jordan de owom, but utimi say emprepi na Jordan kwa ebe wo ma bra ne nkan ya na otimi perform ye etimi de megidi say eneno 1-0 there ye de bema Angola for 1-0 ne there and one no.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough match though. But at the end of the game, I think Ghana will carry the victory. Ghana is going to win 2-1, and Kudus is going to score, and then Fatah Ishaku too is going to score.
Intino Ghana ni Angola Asia dia never support me mine. Ebe show mu 2-1.
Na yin na ehun se mo ane mu no toda
ya pay ya kan do but do be abotre na na sienya the coaches ne mpenen for no stadium where percent okwa besi then dem fam pa bonto mo china match ne dem se be win e be show mo 2-1
emeka je Ghana person say e made in kan be ye bi ko mo yire omo ye a Ghana di peja ye enti edu omo so yire omo ye na me wi shem say o me win 2-0
be 4 bidie on be 4 bidie na first half ye timi ahye 4 second half ye ba na ye de ba kwa ba be ka ho ebia o metimi ate ba ko ebia nso o monte ba o monte mete ba ko afan o monte ba ko.
Yeah, as they're going to play the ball today, the Black Stars is going to win by 3-0.
So we pray for our boys to play well this time, and I predict a win for this our first match. So this time we don't need anything that will break our heart. They should come out with good performance.
Okay, about the match, I think Ghana will win because now the boys are they're improving. It wasn't like before, 4 matches ago, like they were, they weren't organized.
Ghana and Angola, the minimum match the mobile day, but the best show 2-1. Because me say last year mobile Brea sana team show bet. Mega time football bet Senate be best show.
Me did say ne Ghana be share 3 news. Kudus be share 2, Pate be share back. Ghana on be share go no. No more kumini. Me did say nyaminti ebe bim.
Nya Ghana Blasters e pomosem. E pese nya nko na enigem bakom. To mu yiro mu ho. Omboboro a mu yiro mu pa. O sa alo no mu ye ndia yempe. Omu yiro mu ho. Otu bon yiye.
Looking at how now our players, some are playing in the big European League, the EPL, the La Ligas, I'm expecting a win. I'm expecting a strike from Semenyo in the partnership with Inaki, with the support from the midfield from Kudus. I think it is better when we have a support from the defense to the midfield to the striking place. I know we can be scoring more goals.
3-2-1 and I said 2-0 there. Ebebo no ene. And I mean, boys no mun carry jo mo na omuntimi omkukude ndi mo man. Yeah, say football there na boys be entertain your mo Ghana. As I say football ni ho obi antimi entertain. Ama first no na football no ama titiba from be say na omo page na ama football no say no encourage boys ni bebre.
Confidence all round. Not a single person thinks it would even be a draw. That shows you the enthusiasm and confidence out there on the street. So that's positive. And hopefully the boys can pick or can tap into that. Kickoff, as I said, we're creeping ever so closer to the top of the hour. And Kumasi is also heating up. So they're out there, warming up. And the weather, not too bad. The weather's not too bad. 4 o'clock kickoff. It's not scorching hot. Temperatures are not that high, so it should be good for the players who have come all over Europe to play. And gradually, the stands are filling up. These are live shots from the Baba Yara Sports Stadium. I know you want to see more of the action, and we'll certainly be bringing you all that matters from Baba Yara. Very shortly, we'll be joining the feed for commentary. Nana Dakwa Jesse and also Josiah Okokwe, the Angolans. Looking at the pitch, maybe not too worried about earlier fears. Their coach, Conchigal, did say that he was not happy about the pitch, but we've not heard anything since then. So hopefully that has been put to one side and we'll start playing football like it.
Yeah, definitely. You look at the pitch. It's not the worst pitch I've seen. It's good in my eyes. It looks crisp. It looks green. What we saw earlier and then what we are seeing now, I think the NSA have done a great job on this pitch to get it to this level. And if we can maintain this, then that tells you that we can get our pitches to be at the right distance that we look out for to play football on them. And if you look at the attention, now the pitch issues will not come on. It's about less than 40 minutes to kick off. It has to be the business on the pitch. The players got to man up, step up onto the pitch and deliver. That and the paycheck. That is what they have been paid for. And they know that they got to start well right here in Kumasi, in Ghana. Because in the opening game, definitely, it's Ghana, Angola, Sudan, and Niger. based on pedigree, you want to look at in the last 20 years, teams that have gone to the Afcon to do better. It's got to be Ghana, it's got to be Angola. So it's like a 6-pointer. The one that will win both home and away, with all due respect to Niger and Sudan, should stand a better chance of topping this group. And Ghana knows very well that going to Luanda will be extremely difficult for them to go and beat Angola there. Based on our past permutations, they've got to beat them and beat them handsomely to be able to send out a marker to the rest of the teams in the group right from the beginning in Kumasi.
Yeah, mind you, the match is an Afcon qualifier, but Otoado would also be looking at, okay, this is how we're going to proceed with the Afcon qualifiers. When we come back and we head into the World Cup qualifiers in 2025 as well, he would have to look at how he's going to manage his players and the kind of opponents he's going to be facing in these matches. So this match is not just a qualification match, it's also looking at preparing the team for the long term, and a lot of quality young players who need time, and you don't have much time in a qualifier. The breathing space is literally non-existent, so you have to perform and you have little time to do that. It's going to be a cracker, no doubt. And you can see sometimes from the expression on players, facial expression, you can tell how much they really are into the game before kickoff.
Yeah, definitely. If you look, these are the simple things that prepare players going into the game properly. They put you through your paces and you've got to switch on. This is where you soak in the atmosphere in the stadium. You have an idea of what you're about to expect, especially for the away team. And if you look at the Angolans, you can tell how calm they are going through their paces there, the warm-up session.
I can't tell.
They've played here before.
Yeah.
They know how hostile the atmosphere can be. Yeah. Some of them, this might be their first time because every country keeps chopping and changing their call-ups. But majority of, about 60% of them have been here the last time.
One thing you hear from teams or players after they play in Kumasi is that they feel frustrated because the atmosphere, sometimes they try to block it out.
Yeah, they get rattled by what.
Yeah, so they may look calm, but the energy is there. There's a thing about energy, and you can't see it, but you can feel it. So what they're feeling, you and I here, we can't tell, but definitely they shouldn't be calm. If they're calm, we should be a little bit worried. The Angolans should not be calm. They should be unsettled before kickoff.
Well, yeah, until the game starts. When the game starts, we can make all the noise in the stand, but it's going to be 11v11 on the pitch. Whoever switches on their A game on board, put their foot on the ground, play their best football, will stand the chance of winning the game on the day. They know very well that against the Black Stars, they will always come as a second fiddle. But so far as it is 0-0 before kickoff, they have their destiny into their own hands. It's the approach. And like the way Coach Pedro spoke yesterday, he said the strength of the Ghana team basically is in the attacking positions, where he made mention of Inaki Williams, he made mention of Thomas Partey, he made mention of Mohamed Kudus, and he made mention of Jordan Ayew. By far, in reality, those are our best players now. And that tells you that the opposition coach knows our team inside out.
Just as Otoado does. I was very impressed with Otoado, who just mentioned the players and their clubs and their recent form. They've done their homework. There's no doubt about it.
Definitely, because of the data. The FIFA data is there, and in terms of monitoring data is there for you to be able to scout your players and know exactly who to be able to map up. A player like Gelson Dala, a player like Christopher Mabululu, they are household names. You've got to scout them and know their strengths and weaknesses, and you have to be able to stifle them.
Yeah, the name that commentators love to mention because it slips off their tongue, and when he scores, it makes it easier for them. Mabululu, it sounds like a herbal drink, but there he is. But if we can, put a hold on him, he's not the only danger man. That's the problem. You shouldn't just think this is the man. This is the name that everybody knows, but he's not the only danger man. Very deadly in the air as well. So they've got to keep an eye on all the other players.
He's a player that gives the Angolan team multiple attacking options. He's good with his feet. He can heckle you in the air. He has area presence. He can hold the ball up. They look up to him for the main outlet. And in terms of his finishing, he's one of the finest finishers on the local or on the African continent. Like you rightly said, he is not the only player that can cause problems. Gelson Dala is a package in itself. He's trickery, he's slippery, he can cause problems. With the ball at his feet, he can cause problems to any defensive unit. And the Black Stars, the defensive unit, needs to keep an eye on him. People will talk about Mabululu because he gets the goals. But the one that causes the problem most is Gelson Dala.
They would also be worried about our players who were on the screen just a while ago warming up the Black Stars. We'll see that clip in a bit again. They would also be worried about our players, including Jordan Ayew, who's been probably the most consistent over the past few, matches. But Anthony Barfoot's also been talking. Let's hear from him, Anthony Barfoot, prior to this game. He spoke to Mutala Yakubu.
To be able to, consider pressure, to live with pressure. It is what it is. There are good teams in the group, but at the end of the day, we Ghana, we have to do everything to win against our opponents and qualify to the Afcon. That's the most important thing. Kwesi Appiah, of course, he's an intelligent guy. He is now also a very experienced coach, and winning 1-0 is not bad. Mali has a new coach with Tom Seinfeld. They will get another motivation as well, but we won there and they have to come here. But now we have to focus on Angola and then also on Niger in Berkane. So I'm confident that we come out with 3 points.
This is a different generation. But looking at these Black Stars under Otuado, how would you rate them?
First of all, I must say we won the last 2 matches, which was very important. And we mostly made the difference in the second half times. So now we have to be alert from the whistle on, and you see we have been conceding goals as well, but we always scored 1 goal more. So it's very important to be compact, of course, in the defense and also in midfield. Angola is a dangerous team with some terrific wingers, and you remember when we played them before, it was not easy, but I have confidence in this young team, and I'm also counting on the experience of Jordan, Thomas Partey, etc. to give us the final kick.
Now, the last time we played Angola, it was under Chris Hilton. Today, it's under Otuado. Does it change the dynamics of the game?
We have to win. We have to get our 3 points. We are playing here in Kumasi, where we love playing, and I think we have to be tactically well orientated. We have to really follow what the coach is saying, but also amongst the team, the synergies, the cohesion must be there. I can feel a very good atmosphere within the team, and I'm very, very confident that we're going to win, but it's not going to be easy.
Now, one of the things that every coach will love is his players coming in with a good form. Jordan Ayew is doing it big with Leicester City after leaving Crystal Palace. Antoine Semenyo is having a good season already. Fatai Isahaku is having a wonderful time with Leicester. How does these forms combine to make the Black Stars strong?
No, it's very important that you have players who are in shape, who can contribute. Jordan, I call him his experience. Cool, calm, and collected. Jordan knows what he's doing. He has played over 200 games in the Premier League. He has played over 100 games here with Ghana. He's definitely a very, very experienced guy. But I'm also very happy with Isahaku, who has been really progressing. Like you said, Anton Semenyo, he has really impressed me with his debut in the Premier League. But we have other players too. We expect a lot from Thomas Partey, Majida Smeru, etc. Iñaki is back, and you can see how he shines in Bilbao, and I hope that he can transmit the same here on this pitch here at the Kumasi Sports Stadium. Kumasi fans are just extraordinary. I played my first match here on the 13th January 1991, and this stadium was totally different. Kumasi fans are just superb, and I know they will come in numbers. They should come in numbers. They should support the team also when it's not going well in the first 20 or 30 minutes or in the middle of the game. I really want the Kumasi supporters to stay fully behind the team. And I know
13th January 1991, Anthony Barfoot, Ghana versus Benin. Remember that historic game where he carried the flag aloft, ran around the stadium. The Germans were kind of looking at Anthony Barfoot, and he said, "Now I'm going to play for my motherland, Ghana," and he did so well for the Black Stars. We're still waiting for the official lineup to come out, and then we'll share it with you. But we're less than 30 minutes to kick off, and it's one of those gamemanship. I'm seeing the messages. Some of them I cannot read, but those of you who are watching will definitely make sure that we'll get your messages through. Hopefully after the game as well, we'll activate the phone line so you can tell us what's on your mind. Kickoff is just around the corner. Ghana versus Angola, and then a trek to Niger, where they take on Niger as well next Monday, and Sudan will be traveling to Luanda, where they take on Angola. So far, so good. The stadium looks like it will be packed once or just before kickoff.
Yeah, definitely to be a sellout. No doubt about that. Kumasi fans will always turn up. And if you listen to what the Black Stars icons spoke about, he said he has played at this particular venue. He had a vivid memory of his very first game, how the supporters stood behind the team and supported them. And he trusts that they will turn up to give the maximum support to the Black. And he said one thing: when things are going tough in the middle of the game, they should still stand behind the team and support the team. That's the most important thing. And that's one thing that Kumasi fans will always give to this team. They've always supported the team wholeheartedly. That is how come the Black Stars themselves love to play in front of them in Kumasi. And this afternoon will not be a different thing. It's all about the players turning up to entertain them most with goals. Against Central African Republic, yes, it ended 4-3. But as much as we score goals, as much as we should learn to close down our back line. Otuado loves to play expansive football, free-flowing attacking football, displayed at its maximum best. But as much as you love to entertain, as much as you should learn to be pragmatic, and you should learn to close your back line properly, because you might not have a cricket scoreline every day and end up winning the game. There might be days that you might not end up winning the game, and the Black Stars should take a caution from that game against Central African Republic. He spoke about Jordan Ayew. He said to him, Jordan comes in a cool, calm, collective manner. Yes, we know Jordan. He can play very well today and can play somehow tomorrow. But one thing I look up to him is I want to see Jordan continue his fine form for both club and country. He has been in fine goal scoring form. You look at Antoine Semenyo for Bournemouth this season. In his 3 matches, he has been brilliant for them. He has popped out. He has been one of the main outlets for goals. The problem with Antoine Semenyo with the Black Stars is they do carve out decent chances for him. In that game against Comoros away from home in the World Cup qualifier, he together with Inaki Williams had decent chances to score in that game, but they fluffed their line. They got to know that they have to be clinical. In African football, you don't carve out much more decent chances at premium. So the few ones that will come to them, they should be able to stand their foot on the ground and to be able to bury the chances that will come their way.
Some live shots coming in from the Babayara Sports Stadium, and if anything, it's calm and a bit anxious before kickoff, and there'll be a lot of discussions before and at half-time. Hopefully the discussions will be about the goals the Black Stars have scored. She's trying to hide her face. We're going to see a lot of beautiful shots, and no doubt about it, with a red, gold, green, which would follow the flag waving when the Black Stars score. But my little concern, if there should be, is that the expectations are so high. Literally everybody's expecting a big win. Is that realistic?
Yeah, it will not be a big win. Definitely, it will not be a big win.
Why not? Why
it will be a close score.
All our players. If someone was saying to you, all your players are in fine form, in the best league in the world, they're coming to play against Angola. We know a couple of their players. You should feel confident that they should brush Angola to one side.
This is football, and football it doesn't follow that logic. In 2006, we went to the World Cup, our maiden edition. Czech Republic were ranked the second highest team on the FIFA ranking. Ghana basically beat them by 2-0. America was ranked highest. We got them in the last group game. We beat them. So it doesn't follow that pattern. In the World Cup in 2010, we basically beat teams that we were not supposed to beat. We beat Serbia in the group stages. Germany struggled to beat us, but we gave them problems. At the 2014 World Cup in Brazil, Germany won the tournament. But we played out an entertaining 2-2 draw with them. So in terms of the permutations of the caliber of players you put on paper, it has to transmit onto the pitch when the game's kicked off. And that is what the Black Stars need to know. You have Kudus, they have Gelson Dala, they have Mablulu. You also have a certain Inaki Williams who plays for Athletic Bilbao. They have Freddie Kalembe, who the last time they played us there caused us problems. We have Thomas Partey. You understand? They have Gaspar, who plays for Lecce and plays as a centre-back for them. And if you look at the pictures, the shots, you can tell. The Ghanaian culture is colourful. So that one, you can't take it away from the fans.
This is what they will call Black Stars Tertiary, because I can see some, the porcupine emblem, but this is Black Stars. So you're from Black Stars Tertiary, not the porcupine tertiary, but all the same, look, they're supporting Ghana, which is the most important thing. And hopefully their voice would add to the vibe and the atmosphere in the stadium. Good shots.
Yeah, the energy they bring in terms of the way they coordinate, the way they support. And if you look at the shot here, the live feed from the Kumasi Sports Stadium, you can tell it's building momentum. It's gradually getting there. About 21 minutes to kick off. So that tells you that it's basically building up. The momentum is building up, and you can tell the shots there. It's set out to be an explosive carnival right here yet again in the Garden City of Ghana.
Yep. And Ghana versus Angola, 2025 Afcon Qualifier, Mabayara Sports Stadium in Kumasi. And hopefully between now and the next game in October, the upgrades that CAF have asked the Ghanaian authorities to make sure are put in place will be done. So that will not even be a matter for discussion. We'll be focusing solely on the two teams and what they're bringing. Well, we're looking forward to what will be an exciting game. There's no doubt about it. Unpredictable, yeah, maybe, but very predictable in the fact that we're going to get good energy. And all these players have just started, the new season in their respective clubs in Europe. So they also bring in with them fresh legs. All right, kickoff is in 20 minutes time. Let's go for another quick break. We'll be back in just a jiffy. right, welcome back. We're a few minutes away from kickoff, and we're expecting some fireworks. I'm smiling because the lineup is in finally, and yeah, that's closer to the action. Very soon, the aerial shot there, Kumasi. You can see a lot of fans still outside trying to get in. If you look closely down, you know, the little movements. So they'll get in hopefully before kickoff. 10 minutes to go, or 11 minutes to go. They'll definitely be able to get in before the match kicks off.
Yeah, basically if you look around the stadium in a drone shot, this is beautiful. You can tell lots of guys are outside the stadium, and this is the inner shot with about 7 minutes to go or 6 minutes to go. And that tells you the stadium will be packed to its raptures. Make no mistake about that. And the team sheet for the Black Stars is finally out, y'all. And its continuity, it's key for what I have seen so far. It's a typical 4-2-3-1 formation for Coach Otuado this afternoon against the Palancas Negras of Angola. So if you look at what he's doing, he's basically putting Atizigi in post. Tariq Lamptey starts at the back four together with Abdul Mumin, Salisu Mohamed, and Alidou Seydou. Make up the back four for them. In central midfield, you have Arsenal midfielder Thomas Partey, Elisha Owusu, making up the two pivot in central midfield. And then in the trio of attacking players, you have Abdul Fattah Isahaku, the Leicester City midfielder, Mohamed Kudus of West Ham, Antoine Semenyo of Bournemouth, and Jordan Ayew of Leicester City leading our attack. So a typical 4-2-3-1 formation, explosive attack. And one thing that you can deduce from the starting 11 is the fact that he's trying to play to the strength of the players, putting every single player to play at their strength position, and that will really cause them problem. And that's Mavululu for you there.
Yep, a lot of pressure on him. Thomas Partey as well. Thomas Partey, I was reading an article, and basically he's also going to be expected to put in some strong games because after this at Niger, Arsenal's next game will be against Tottenham Hotspur, which is the North London derby. So he's going to be a busy man, the captain.
Yeah, definitely. He'll be a busy man. He'll be at the heart of everything that both club and country will do in the next 4 matches. You know, Arsenal will play against Tottenham Hotspur, and then they'll have to go to the Etihad to play against Manchester City in the English Premier League. 2 away matches on the bounce. These are title-defining matches. So he's a big match player. He has lived up to the billing. He's a player that he can't get it wrong. And if you look at the players walking off the pitch after going through their paces, you can tell the focus, you can tell the determination, you can tell how they are switched on to come back onto the pitch. And look at the dressing room, everything being arranged beautifully. That's Thomas Partey's jersey in the Puma, jersey number in the Puma jersey. You look at that. One thing that people will say, why Elisha Owusu over Majid Ashimeru, the Anderlecht midfielder, but Owusu holds better than Elisha Owusu. Elijah also holds better than Majid Ashimeru. Ashimeru is an attacking midfielder. That's the reason why he's not starting. He's a good player when he comes from the bench. Mind you, in that game against Angola in Luanda, he came from the bench and he basically gave the assist that got us the equalizer. But I would like to concentrate on the players on top of the pitch here. Yao. You look at Fattah Isahaku, Kudus Mohamed, and Antoine Semenyo together with Jordan. These are explosive players, Yao.
You're talking about 3 very informed players in the English Premier League. You know, Otuado would have found it very difficult to keep them out. And I'm sure the thinking behind that is to make sure the Angolans have a lot to worry about and a lot to deal with themselves. If they're thinking about attacking, they've got to also look at what is coming from the other side. And I mean, Kudus hasn't scored here, but he hit the crossbar against Man City in that one of the breaks, the counter-attacks, and he's doing well. It's just that the goals haven't come. And as for Ishaku, we know he's been involved. Semenyo as well has been very much involved in literally everything that his club have been doing. So yeah, the coach has put out his list, and it just remains to see on the pitch how they face the Angolans, who themselves would have their work cut out, knowing exactly the kind of formidable opposition they face.
Yeah, definitely. You look at the coach in the last game that they played against Central African Republic. Basically, it was these same players that started the game on top of the pitch, and they managed to score 4 goals out of that game. So he has seen no reason why he should be dropping any of them. It's normal. Jordan, Antoine Semenyo, Kudus, and Fattah Isahaku. These are the best players that you can have on top of the pitch currently. And if he wants to tweak things in the second half, he has the athletic Bilbao striker, Inaki Williams on the bench, Brandon Thomas Asante on the bench as well. So he spot for choice or options in terms of his attacking permutations as to what he wants to go into it with. This is the man in your picture, the star boy of the team, Fatah Mohamed Kudus. It's going to be an interesting game this afternoon, and I would love to see how these players will play in attacking positions for the Black Stars. But Thomas Partey and Elisha also, is it going to be, how are they going to complement each other? We've seen Salih Samed and Thomas Partey. We've seen Salih Samed and Baba Idrisu. Now it's Elisha also and Thomas Partey. We'd love to see how they'll be able to cope and complement each other at the heart of the Black Stars midfield.
Yeah, we won't have to wait too long for that because it's fast approaching about 9 minutes to kick off. Is it right? Yeah, about 8 or 9 minutes to kick off. So we'll definitely get to that very, very shortly. And just to remind you that the production, it is local production for global consumption, and we'll make sure we bring you the very latest excitement from around, and hopefully stay around with us after the game as well as we bring you the post-match reactions and interviews and vox pops and all the rest. Mutala Yakubu, Josiah Okokwe, Nana Dakwa, JC, Nana Edu, and the entire squad there are in Kumasi, and they'll make sure they bring us the very latest. So stick and stay with us as we get ready for kickoff at the top of the hour. It is Angola who are the visitors against the home team, the Black Stars of Ghana. There are other matches being played all across the continent, and hopefully at the end we'll bring you updates on results of other games as well. The journey to Morocco has begun. In our group, Group F, it is Sudan who've got the first 3 points, beating Niger by 1-0. Up next for them will be Angola, big game for Sudan, and also Akwesiapia. When they trek to Luanda, the Black Stars will be moving West Africa. They take on Niger. Big games to look forward to. On paper, everybody said, oh, Black Stars, Palancas Negras qualified. It's easy. But it might not be as simple and as easy as that.
No, football has revolved, and everybody have learned their game. Everybody has learned the scientific part of the game, how to condition players, how to bring out the best out of your players, and how to scout the opposition team, their strengths and their weaknesses. So now the gap in between the good guys and the old guys has basically closed up. It's not as wide as it used to be. You can tell that the last 2 times we played this Angolan team, we managed to beat them by the odd positive goal. We beat them 1-0 here. The return leg was 1-1. They are getting closer. And based on what they did at the Afcon in Côte d'Ivoire, we need to be extremely cautious about our approach, the way we approach them. We can't just go gun blazing on all cylinders without being cautious. Tariq Lamptey, Abdul Mumin, Salisu Mohamed, and Ali Dussedu, together with Lawrence Atizigi, they have a job to do. They will have problems today. Gelson Dala, Freddie Kalembe, Gustavo Mabululu will definitely cause them problems. It is how they comport themselves and complement each other. That is what will get them. If they'll be able to keep a clean sheet this afternoon, it depends on how they complement each other, and communication will be extremely key.
7 minutes
1v1
to
battle.
go. And we'll be getting, hopefully, a clean feed from the Babayara Sports Stadium, and the Angolans, as well as the subs bench for Ghana, are also coming through. Hopefully this is just a blip and it's nothing more than that. The satellites should behave. Mr. Alex Asante, they're leading the way, making sure that all is ready before the players come out of the tunnel. And that sign shows you that any moment from now, they will be coming out before the, the modalities, the usual lineup and national anthems are done. But there's just some communications being taken care of before that. But any moment from now, we will have that. And these fans also be giving us their vibes. Not too sure what's happening now, but there you go. Now I'm sure the fans are in buoyant mood, waiting anxiously, as we all are, for kickoff in the next 5 or so minutes, live from Kumasi Babayara Sports Stadium. It is Ghana's first game towards qualification to Afcon 2025. Morocco will be hosting that tournament, and after Ivory Coast, we just can't wait for another soccer fiesta. This time up north, the train moved from west to North Africa. Apologies for those intermittent breaks. Technology, it's satellites, and until I'm told what it is, I will just say just be patient, and I can only apologize, but hopefully it's nothing more than some birds high in the sky cutting on the feed. But on a more serious note, we should get underway very, very shortly.
Yeah. Basically, you can tell the guys are ready. Very soon they walk onto the pitch, and it's game time. When it is game time, you've got to deliver. The talk will be over. Everybody needs to step up and deliver. It's the most important thing for the day. That's what the fans are, both home and away, they'll be looking up to. And we've got to be able to serve them something spectacular. And this is it. It doesn't get bigger than this one for the Black Stars and the Palancras Negras of Angola. It's finally poised. Look at the place. Thomas Partey leading the Black Stars out. This is it. It doesn't get bigger than this one. It's the opening game for the 2025 Afcon Qualifiers for the Black Stars.
So we'll be joining our gentlemen in commentary position, Nana Dakwa Jesse and